Hi, I'm Basil Karstadt. I'm the Director of GWI Project Managers. We have our head office based in Durban. We do projects in numerous parts of South Africa and in other African countries. It was an opportunity for GWI to secure a substantial size project. It gave us that opportunity whereby we, as I said, we appointed numerous professionals within the team. In fact, our proposal consisted of 19 odd various professionals, and this allowed us to actually go beyond our normal scope of works, which our main core business is project and program management. And 3 years allowed us a lot of time to do the proper planning. So from inception, and that's what it was, we actually had a blank canvas. So the feasibility study informed us, but at the same time it was also uniqueness around those locations. And of course that's why it's not one size fits all. So it brought a lot of creativity. So within the team, each time we dealt with a different site, we had different creative thinking. Each site, this project allowed us to deal with 4 different tenants or 4 different owners who are going to own these facilities, and therefore they also have uniquenesses. So one project dealing with 4 different owners, and our own appointment was now with a different organization altogether. So it made us have to think quite strategically. I think we were quite fortunate that the team we presented were senior professionals. We had a professor, we had a doctor, a PhD in small business development. So we had quite high-level expertise within the team. I think it's important to think in development ways is that these sites were what we call greenfield sites. And a greenfield site means that in actual fact you now need to get an approval from the beginning. Before you can do any development, you had to go to environmental scopings, had to go through that process and then get approval. At some of the sites there was one site which was recognised in Richards Bay as having had all of its services in place, made it a little bit easier. So in terms of state of readiness, we then were able to move quicker in some spaces than we did in others. But this also created complexity, but also the exciting part about it, and how we found that in actual fact you can actually be successful in difficult circumstances, because we never had extended timelines, even though there were some complexities that we faced. We were very fortunate. Through the project we had a marketing component, and in the marketing it exposed the project to a much greater audience than just purely local. We researched and looked at what they were doing international. The detail shows in probably 3 million people operate in and out of a techno environment, and therefore that is how we attracted tenants that were not just local, started to become national tenants, started to become international, and there was a lot of interest that we pursued. I think what we'd really like to see is I think we created which Treasury identifies as an enabling environment using their funding. That was what we took into account when we considered the design aspects of the first phase product of the actual host's administration sales center, as we labeled it, because this then creates a tone for the future development of the parks. The thinking behind it is to have a live, work, play environment. Thinking of innovators and technology, these are creative people, so they go and they might not work our normal business hours, and I think that's common. So the future is you traditionally are going to attract probably younger generation, younger people. They're going to have a lot of exciting times. This is not traditional working offices where people go to work in the morning, come home. We certainly foresee that these parks could become a great place for technology, innovation. And I think at the moment we're in that space. That is what's happening in business.